Taz.
What up?
What's up?
Come to hit me with some questions.
Hard questions,
oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
How good.
How's your morning?
Yeah, good. Well, we were just talking about the fact that the classes were open to 25, so you really got me good this morning.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It was all right.
I was like,
how was your training session this morning?
Oh, yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no show, guys.
Yeah. I cancelled. I cancelled my way out of the session.
But it was. Why did you do that?
Yeah, because I didn't want to be sweaty.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Here I am.
Science.
Goodness.
So, thanks for jumping on with me today.
Thank you.
I guess we wanted to get you on board before you leave.
Oh, stop it.
So we'll start off with addressing the elephant in the room for everyone. A few people obviously who attend your classes would know what's happening, but just to kind of tell everyone and just get it, the story straight with everyone, why you decided to leave us in such a perfect time.
Oh, God, just guilt trip me.
Yeah, it's all right.
Nah, well, basically I've been traveling. So my partner lives in Goulburn. Great place, Goulburn.
Yep.
And we've been
just like God's country up in Motor Valley, right?
So good. Pretty much like similar to Avalon, but in the middle of the country and no beaches and freezing cold.
Yeah.
Ideal. And we've been traveling up and back for over 2 years now. Just kind of like spend half my week there, half my week here, just kind of going up and back. So we decided that we were going to move somewhere. I don't know. I mean, if you guys really want to figure this out, you need to approach him because he's not keen on moving to the beaches, but I'm obviously not keen to go into Goulburn. So we were like, hey, let's just go somewhere new. So basically,
so every member in here, you have someone to attack.
Yeah, I know. I'll just leave his name at the bottom,
email,
and his
address.
phone number.
I don't think anyone would be bothered to drive down to Goulburn.
Throw stones at the house that we just renovated. It's okay.
Yeah.
So we've just been traveling too much, and I just kind of feel like I'm living between two places, and it's really frustrating and inconsistent with training and life and everything. So decided that we would move away somewhere else. We said north. We both wanted to be somewhere warmer. So that was kind of like on our hit list. And we said overseas, and that's not going to happen. So yeah, we said north, and we never put like a destination on it. Then recently this year, we started to do a little bit more travel to Byron. I did a couple seminars there, and I know the guys down there who own the gym, and just kind of cool community. And then it actually happened that last time we went down there, I was coaching someone in our class that needed someone to help renovate their house, and they weren't going to rent it out, and they were basically like, hey guys, I heard you're looking for accommodation and we have this opportunity. And it was kind of almost like what I'd thought could be great and put out in the world. And then these people said that. And it was crazy. So we're very lucky. Yeah, it was like that. So, I mean, that's kind of the opportunity that we're looking at the moment. We're still kind of sorting things out. But I'll be going to Goulburn for hopefully a very short amount of time, sort of like 6 weeks maybe. And then we're going to collectively move together. And if it's not Byron, it'll be, somewhere north. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll kind of see how it goes. We don't think we'll go forever. Like we might just do a year and kind of see how we go. I love the beaches and I definitely feel like I'm going to end up back here. So yeah, I'm sorry.
I love you all. Yeah. That's awesome.
So the general thing is that you can blame my partner.
Yeah, cool. We will. All right. But the place you are in Goulburn, it's Mitch's place, yeah?
Yeah, so basically he has a little house that we renovated together, which has been a cool little project for this year that kept me going to Goulburn when I didn't really want to. And then his work actually out the back of the place that we renovated together in our kind of like spare time as a hobby, his work has actually been out the back, and he built 3 houses out the back of this property.
Oh, wow.
He subdivided it, and now he built 3 houses out the back.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so he literally steps out the back door and he's at work. So, and he has just lots of work throughout Goulburn. So that's just been easy for him. And and then we've been able to renovate the place and have somewhere to live. And so, yeah, it's a good spot, but it's not the spot you want to live.
So that outdoor outdoor gym is his. Is that where you train?
Yeah. So we actually
sick. That setup is mad.
It's not bad, but I guess it's because it's awesome. It's
maybe it's just the angle you put the camera in. Every time I see it, I'm jealous.
If I turn to the side, you'll see a construction everywhere. But it's actually, so it's like it's very, very small, but 3 better. But the main bedroom, we just laid down gym mats. We made we reinforced the floor because we knew we were going to make it into a gym. We put down gym mats. That's the inside of it. And it just has machines because he likes to do, I don't know, like
bodybuilding
stuff.
Yep.
He loves all that stuff. So we have just machines, and then it just has like an outdoor sort of like patio area it's not massive, but we put a rig on it, and then there's enough room to throw a barbell around, and it's like all we need.
Yeah.
So it's actually been so great little setup at home.
I love it. It's like my dream to do that here, like semi-outdoors.
I feel like now that I have a home gym, I always said I didn't need one because I work in a gym. Like I'm constantly at a gym. Why would I? It's so easy for me to pop down. But now that I have one, I realize it's so easy when I have that workout that I don't particularly feel like doing, that I don't have to drive all the way to the gym and get it done. It's just like, it's there. I can just step into the room. Into the main bedroom and just do it straight away. So it's been really good. We're very lucky.
And although this is something I really commend you for, you're pretty used to training by yourself.
I actually hate it so much. Like, it's the number one thing that I really hate doing, and I've always hated it. And I've had coaches who've said to me for a long time, they've said like, no, you've got to build like mental capacity to train by yourself. And I was like, hey, don't worry about my mental capacity.
I've done it enough.
I've done it enough, and I will push by myself. Don't you worry. I will go into that hole by myself any day, every day. But I've also done CrossFit for a long time, and I want to do it with friends, and I love the classes, and I love
there's
the
a
vibe.
reason, isn't there? That you fell in love with this in the first
100%.
place.
And I'm like, it has nothing to do with if someone says, but you need to, I don't know, Miko Salo, row, the old school. There was this guy, if you don't know CrossFit, and he was rowing in this cupboard, and all you could fit was a rower. And he was like, this is what kind of makes me mentally stronger and all this. And I thought, that's great, but I've been through that and I don't need to anymore. So, I mean, I have to train a bit by myself there, but I don't love it, but that's why I've been roping you along to my sessions.
It's good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it.
We love coming to train with you and vice versa. Do you know what I mean? It's been awesome.
I always have a laugh about how many people say but I'm not good enough or something like that. Everyone in the class is completely different ability, and
100%.
No one's worrying about that. They're just trying to better themselves.
You're like, I just need another energy next to me.
100%.
Some person, this physical person. I don't care if you're doing something else.
I'm going to tell you a bad story now, but the other day I had a really horrible session to do, and it was last Tuesday, so it was Australia Day, and I had a PM session. And I had to get it done, and I'd just been at the beach all day. This was the last thing I wanted to do. So I had to do some intervals, and I called Mitch and I'm like, okay, I'm going to the gym now. He's like, okay, bye. Don't care. And then I FaceTimed him back. I'm like, would you mind just hanging here for my first round?
That's exactly what I want to do.
I just set up the phone, and he wasn't even giving a damn. He was doing his own thing and moving stuff around, and I'm like, it was just kind of nice to have someone there.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I bet.
Yeah.
But how have you been taking this new season, the new season, and approaching what's up, what's coming up, especially with what's going to be changing for you?
Yeah. So I haven't made a plan as in the open and where I'm going to be and that sort of stuff. I'm comfortable in Sydney, so I'll probably travel back depending on where I'm at, and probably still be in Goulburn at that time. Not going to do it in the backyard by myself.
No.
So I'll probably come back, do it here, do it wherever. I'm happy to do that. But the season as such, I guess, it's still got a lot of uncertainty. They haven't really announced that much or talked about. I know they said they were bringing a regionals back and all this, but they just really haven't given much organization to it. So I guess
one thing we found, sorry to interrupt,
go.
One thing I've almost found the hardest, because you get so pumped about the season, but something that's hard to really comprehend is the 10%.
Yeah.
Because then in your head you're like, well, you don't actually know how many people have really applied yet, so how do I calculate 10%? What is that?
What's that? That's what they're taking
from the first round, I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
it's like I haven't even read into this, but
okay.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah, then there might actually be a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but like they haven't been very clear about these things in it. So, I mean, I think the hardest thing about that whole thing is we dedicate so much like to this, and then for there to be so much uncertainty, which I know is happening a lot in this world at the moment, but it's so hard to dedicate so much of your life to something that has so much uncertainty. Like, I know we said we'll probably talk about last season, but that's kind of what I really struggled with is like, I have this goalpost or this thing that I want to achieve, but that goalpost kept shifting, and it just absolutely did my head in because I can show up and I can train really, really hard because I can just envision that games floor and wanting to be there. And then it would be like, oh, we still are going to be there. We're definitely flying to America. And then the next week it was like, oh, but we're not. No, but we are going back. And to keep that same sort of like drive, I have so much respect for the people who just train straight through it, just not worrying about what the season's going to do. Oh, it blows my mind.
Messed with you a little bit.
So, I guess if we're talking about this season, I haven't made a solid plan. I've definitely got back to some more consistency of training that I was lacking for a while. I actually had a bit of a lull after the first lockdown because during lockdown is fabulous for me because I have friends to train with because everyone's not at work. So it's so great. And I was the opposite to other people. So I was training with people every day. And then when lockdown finished, everyone's back to work, and then I had no training partner. So my lull came a little bit later than everyone else's. And then, I guess for this going into this season, I'm just worried about what it's going to be. So I haven't made too much of a plan rather than, I mean, like I said, I'm just trying to be consistent with my training and then see where it goes.
Yeah. Don't almost want to look ahead with optimism when it kind of, again, like you said, that the post keeps shifting.
If you would just train that hard and then, I mean, even I know people did that last year and they trained so hard and then their sanction all got cancelled and the chance of them making it was very, very high and they still just didn't even get an opportunity to. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's so true.
I had messages from friends saying like, yeah, go out there and represent us. And I'm like, that's so sad. Like you should be here too. Yeah. You deserve to be. So yeah. I guess I'm approaching it in a way that, hey, I still love training. I want to train really hard, but I also don't want to get my hopes up in the chance that it could be, let down a little bit. So.
Okay. That makes sense. It makes total sense. And how did you find the CrossFit Games online?
CrossFit Games in Brookvale, not Madison. I turned up on day one. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Can you just all put on American accents? This would be great. Thanks.
I guess it was more of like exactly what I said. Just not the experience, not the goalpost that you'd hoped for. And it's something that I've wanted to qualify for the games for a long, long time. And then when it didn't end up being this massive hurrah that it was upsetting. And I kind of went through a bunch of emotions where I cared and then I didn't care at all. And the consistency and the fluidity of the whole event, even like submitting videos was difficult, and the organizing judges, like nothing was easy, and it really just kind of like put a damper on the event, if I was honest. And that's, I guess, defined my season for this year is if I'm going to sacrifice as much as I do in my training and it's going to be an event like that, I'm not sure that I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's not the event that I train for. I train because I love being on the floor.
Well, you want to gain the experience
and I love the energy
well.
And I love standing side by side with the people I don't get to compete against.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if that's the games, I'll just do the open.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I was like, I've done this shit heaps of times.
It makes such a difference when you're actually in lanes with these people that 100%. You watch from all these different countries.
You go out too hot and then you hurt real bad.
Yeah. But you still can keep them as your target. Do you know what I mean? You have them at the side of your eye and you're just like, I'm watching you.
There's nothing like that vibe of being on the floor and feeling amazing that you've made it there and just that atmosphere. And so, I mean, there was still like, don't get me wrong, there were still massive benefits of doing it. Like, I did it in a place where people could come watch me and friends could be there. And I mean, they said they could and then they couldn't. So that was also, but like, I had people around me that wouldn't otherwise get to come and watch the CrossFit Games. So that's amazing. But it's, it's a very different experience to what I'd hoped for. So it was, I think I said it was like bittersweet. Like, it's really nice to get there, but it's not what I'd dreamed about, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, moving on from there, how do you feel like you kind of perfectly took yourself to that kind of peak level of performance? Like, what do you think became like a bit of a process or a change in you to like up your game?
I think that probably my consistency over the years has been massive. Like, there's never been a time where I've like not committed to the process. Like, even when I say like, hey, I'm not fit at the moment, or like, I haven't been doing this, like, still my like subpar training is still very consistent to other people. Like, I might say like, oh, I haven't been training at all this week. Like, I've probably still done a couple double days. Like, they might not be as intense and I've done that for years. And I've had years and years of like, I even think now about people learning new skills and they've just started and they want to learn how to butterfly. I'm like, I spent like 3 years kipping. Like, people don't do that now. And then I spent years and years doing like all these individual skills, and I've just got such a big backing behind me that of just consistent hard work and showing up every single week, and even my subpar work has been hard work. So I just feel like that's something that's really, it really benefited me. A lot of people I know have gone through those massive training cycles and then like kind of stopped and then they've done a bit of a comeback and stuff. Yeah. I just feel like I've always kind of just sat at that level and
just maintained.
Yeah, maintained. Yeah. And I've worked hard to maintain. Like, it's not an easy thing to do. So.
No, not staying at that level. No.
It's
so impressive.
Like, peak and then just, you know.
Yeah, and drop off.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but it's a really hard thing to just maintain, because as well, maintenance is sacrifice, right? Yeah. Like you still need to give a lot of time to be decent at this sport. So yeah, and that means like, hey, at Christmas time or whatever it is, like, I'm still going to the gym. Like, I love it, so it's not a task, but that's.
But to other people, like, your family would be sitting there, or friends, just like, why?
Judging me.
Yeah. It's Christmas.
I'm like, so I think that's something that's really, really helped me. I think great background in sport, like I was a gymnast when I was younger, and it helped me with body awareness and swimming, like. Definitely was never a runner. Still need to work on that.
Yeah, running, everyone's favorite.
So yeah, that's probably what I'd say. And like, I'd say that to everyone. Like, consistency, just constantly turning up here. Like, the more you do it, the better you're going to get.
Yeah.
You know, if you're doing it properly too. I'd say probably on top of that, I think maybe it comes from gymnastics, but I pride myself in good movement. Like, it's definitely. I'd like to say it's very rare that you'll see me move really shit. Yeah. Like, I really hate that.
Oh, you don't.
Like,
no. I've seen you in the pain cave on gymnastics and you've still got perfect form.
But that's also probably something that's worked against me before, because I could probably get another rep, but I'm like, but it'll be so ugly.
But someone else might have 2 shitty ones.
Yeah. And then they'll get
break their elbow, but they beat you.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah. So I wish I did a little bit worse, but like, that's something that's benefited me. I've still been injured, but it's still like, I can only imagine what my body would be like if I moved poorly every single day.
Yeah,
so 100%. I think moving well and being consistent is the key.
Yeah. And I think from like even just the both of us, for the experience we've had and been gifted with over the years, we've been, the coaches we've had access to has been
massive.
Yeah. Like,
I'm like
second to none. It's unbelievable who we've been surrounded by.
Yeah, constantly every day.
Like, when you think about it over the years of like 8 to 10 years now, you just like, just been gifted with seriously the best in the industry sometimes. Like,
100%. And like maybe didn't even know it at the time. Like I didn't know how good these athletes were. And I think I got to a point where I started to know more about CrossFit and I started to chase them. Like I was at a gym that wasn't very competitive and then I literally looked up Active and that was like the number one gym at the time. And I was like, I'm there.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to follow these coaches and these athletes. Why would I be anyone else, like with anyone else? If these are the good people, like follow them. If you
and it was the thing. It still kind of is, isn't it? Like even when we had that mad year with Athletic, 4 years ago, it's because we had such a tribe.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Like you have, 100%. If you surround yourself by the people that are going to better you, you technically will just do better.
100%. Like, and if you're surrounded by good movers and good coaches, like, that's the standard you're going to uphold, then that's the way you're going to, like,
progress
you're going to emulate
from there.
them. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
that's awesome. What's been like your most like what year do you always reminisce on? Just like that was seriously like just the whole experience, the process, everything. What type of year would you look back on and say that's like I still look back at that like I could relive that?
Thing. Oh, that's a good question. I think there's been different years for different like sorts of pinnacles. Like my year training with or like that competing with Project X, like we had so much fun and I hadn't had that much fun in such a long time because I'd been so serious about the competition and thinking about myself individually. And so we just traveled so much, like, and we had so many laughs and we're just such an oddball group of people with such crazy personalities. We're all, very dominant personalities and getting us together. Like we might have not competed that fabulously, but we had so much fun. Like we had a mental time. So I guess that's one year I look back on for fun.
But you could see that almost like reflected in the content like that was being produced. Who was producing that? Was the Wildlife? Was that?
They were helping us out.
So I remember just watching all the videos and like it didn't really matter to watch you guys train. Like it was just so good seeing the characters in all of you guys. Like Khan Porter especially alongside you, and then Jess. It was so good.
They'd be like, "Let's get some serious content now." And we're like, "What?"
Oh no.
It made a difficult training year as well because we were all so different. Like Khan can go eat like 700 bagels and Uber Eats every single night and like lose weight, and I then put on like 10 kilos and couldn't do a pull up, and they're like, "Come on, guys."
Gotta love them. I have so many people like that.
So it probably wasn't my most athletic. Damn it. Probably wasn't my most athletic year, but meh. And then I always just look back actually on the competitions in Dubai. They were like some of my favorite. Right. I don't know what years they were now.
I really wanted to go watch that.
It's insane. And like as well that the event that they put on it feels very catered to the athletes, which is really nice. Like the hotel backs onto the stadium, and that hotel in particular is a sports hotel that has ice baths and saunas and they're just everything is so catered to the athlete that makes it really nice because it just makes it more of a spectacle because you feel like you can perform and then go lie down if you need to, and every year they would say what can we do better, and they would do it better.
Makes total sense why the UFC went to Abu Dhabi then.
100%. They just and they have these phenomenal stadiums and all sorts of stuff that is just beautiful. So that was always just like that. I mean, I did that 2 years in a row and it was amazing. So it was probably one of the highlights that I kind of look back on, and I'd love to go back there. Yeah.
Well, that's where you would have gotten the mad kind of games experience then, just being alongside that level of athlete.
And like all the games girls were there. Like, because I mean, I guess the good thing about Dubai was they put money on the line, so it makes athletes show up. So it was really like, it was like a guaranteed experience when you went there that this is going to be the big dogs. So and if you can hold yourself up against them as well, like, you know, I finished that and I was like, hey, like I beat so-and-so in this workout, or like I held my own on this. And so that was a really nice, like almost reassuring thing to give you a bit of maybe an ego boost into the fact that like, hey, I deserve to be here. So it's, probably one of my highlights is that. So, yeah.
How many times were you in Carson? Twice, yeah? 2 times? 3 times? Team?
Team 3 times?
3 times?
Or maybe 4 times. No. Twice with active.
Yeah.
Yeah, twice with active and then once with, so 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would have only been in Carson once, and then I changed to LA.
Yeah.
And then Madison. So I've done one of each. Is it?
Carson was LA, I think,
I'm confused. Yeah, it is.
It was always Carson and then went to Wisconsin.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm confused.
I went from Carson to LA.
It was a long drive. Damn it.
Yeah.
Double Carson once Madison. Yeah. They do well there. They run the event so well because it's like, I guess kind of what I'm talking about in Dubai. They've got this, but also like not like LA is a big place, right?
Yeah.
And so like, I guess if you're going to the games and you're competing, something buzzed.
Yeah,
is it working?
that's probably me.
Okay. Breaking something.
Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah. If you're going to watch or you're going to compete, you're probably a frother, right?
Yeah.
And if you're in LA, it's so spread out.
Yeah.
And so having it in Madison, it was like this saturated thing of CrossFitters everywhere. Like, you walk past and you're like, cool shoes. And
yes. Because it's like a little square, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's literally
Madison
everyone's
was
everywhere.
so much better than Carson for that, like as a community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
it's
every
nice.
window had like vinyal stickers of all the
so
athletes.
Good. And they had like coffee cups with like, welcome to Madison CrossFit. And like you'll walk past and you're like, there's Rich, having a coffee, or like whoever you
almost
like
go through Madison Town Square and just say like, it's kind of a bit scary because like where are the people who should be living here? Everyone just looks like CrossFitters. Yeah, there's like.
But that's nice, right? Like because if you're going, you want that experience.
So
that's
true.
why people come and watch regionals, and you go to every single store and it's buzzing. It's because everyone loves this shit.
Yeah,
so I reckon that's it's a cool place.
For that reason, Madison was definitely better than Carson.
Yeah.
But Carson to me was way better for I almost reckon the stadium. The StubHub Stadium was so much better of a venue to
me. I just think it was like the OG to us.
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
Really
like we always looked up to that place.
That's where I want to go is to Carson.
Yeah. But I think what I loved about Carson was the stadium, the outdoor stadium.
Yeah.
Although Madison had like that tennis stadium where the main event finished, the indoor one. That was such a mad vibe.
We didn't get in there. But that's cool. Let's talk about that vibe.
We just watched.
We did. We came in and watched after our event and they told us we had to pay to go in. I'm like, we just competed all weekend. And they said we had to pay.
Because that was another thing with Carson. Wherever you went, you flashed a little badge. And you're like,
they let us in. No, they said no matter who went into that stadium. But I do remember watching and I do actually remember that indoor stadium being like, that's actually kind of what I feel like I trained for. Like, I remember sitting there after we competed for teams and I've never been in that stadium and I just sat there and I was like, shit, this is where I want to be. I want to be on that floor. And I think that's that disconnect that I'm talking about is like, didn't quite look like the Brookvale floor.
No.
And so like, I really have a very strong image of what that was like and that didn't connect. So
yeah. I see where that would kind of,
you see how they look a bit different.
But as well, the Carson Stadium was almost a little bit more intimate, hey? The tennis stadium one? Yeah. I always remember you feel like you're sitting over the athletes in there,
cool,
whereas
they're like
in Madison was just like, you could be in the nosebleeds.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, you're kind of like, was that Tia?
No, it's Harriet. Less jacked. Damn it.
Yeah, but it's weird to kind of look back at that.
Good times then.
Yeah, it was good times. Yeah. So let's talk about kind of like your daily process then and your like daily schedule and how you handle your like pretty much your schedule day in and day out, week to week. And, how do you prepare yourself in regards to what you've got ahead for the day, your food, maybe what you take as like a really important thing that's maybe outside of training?
Yeah. So like I said, my schedule's been crazy because I've been driving so much between two places, but like a regular day, I have been doing, most days I do train twice a day, even if the one session's smaller, shorter, something like that. So say if that's my average day, depending on if I'm coaching or not, if I am coaching like a later session, I'm that person that I want to get the the hard shit done as soon as possible. So I'll train at 5 a.m. so that I can get it out of the way. And if I have 2 sessions and one looks worse, I'm like, let's bite off that horrible thing first. So I'll get that session done. That's like a big thing that I have to do, even if it says, please do not do this session first.
This is PM, strictly.
Yeah. So I'm always thinking about, doing all the hard shit first so that the day gets easier.
Yeah.
Then I have some coaching. I have online programming. That's kind of like what consumes the rest of my day is either looking after clients online, coaching some classes, or if it's kind of a slightly different day in Goulburn, I labour for Mitch. So just doing some labouring, which normally actually depends a little bit on my training because that work is so difficult.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember you said you came in one day and you're like, how do half our tradesmen members even turn up here? Like
my sympathy for these guys has gone through the roof. My respect. Yeah.
Respect is insane.
They come in, they're like, I'm scaling the wall ball today. I used to be like, really?
Yeah.
Really? Now I'm like,
you
know what? You go home and you get a massage.
You do you.
I feel so bad, but I'm just like, it kills me. And I'm not conditioned to it. So I'll do a bit of laboring, but that might even, if I have something in the later session that says I've got lifting and then like a bike segment, I'm like, okay, that bike segment is not happening. Yeah. So I'm like, I've done my conditioning for today. I'm like, I've done 25,000 steps.
You're mentally exhausted already.
I'm so done. So if I'm laboring, it's kind of a bit more relaxed. My afternoon training session, and then training in the afternoon is normally around 4 o'clock, something like that. So or before coaching, so that I don't have to worry about that. In regards to food, I'm a shake girl in the morning, wake up, I have the biggest smoothie known to man, fill it with all sorts of stuff, because sometimes I can go the day, even something like today, I won't eat till midday. Yeah. I have a couple little snacks on hand, but it's just by the time clients are done or coaching's done.
4 hours later.
Yeah, and then you pop by somewhere. It's just a little crazy. So I'll normally just try to smash myself with some food in the morning. And then I wouldn't say I'm the most, I don't track. I'm not the most strict person with my diet. I'm not the person to give advice. I've had heaps of people reach out and they're like, can you help me with nutrition? I'm like, that's not me. I haven't done much. I know you've done study. You did... What's it called?
Precision nutrition.
Yeah, and everyone says that's amazing, but I've just always mentally, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of food because I know that I'm a very obsessive person, and when it's good to do some tracking every now and again, but
you don't want to fall in the loophole of it.
I'll get so deep if I go into that, and I'm like, it just consumes me. And I think every person or a lot of females in particular have had so many issues with calories and how they look and body weight and stuff that I know that it's not going to do the best things for my mental health. So I would rather just eat some good, clean food, and if I'm going through stages of not training, eat a little bit less. And if I'm training hard, I'm going to eat a little bit more. So but just good, clean food, but mixed in with some terrible food too. If I want, I did hear Khan talking about this a while ago, but just trying not to restrict myself on anything has been amazing. Yeah. So if it says, if I say, I really want that chocolate bar, just have that chocolate bar, and you carry the sacrifice or the punishment, rather. If I know that's going to throw out all my calories, then bad luck. Tomorrow you're going to have to eat a little less.
But you enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean?
And embrace that. So I think that
the difference as well would be that it falls into the same brutal pattern whether you're an athlete or someone looking to lose weight, isn't it? It's just anywhere that you choose to restrict yourself, when the time comes to eating it, you're going to binge because you've been restricting yourself, whereas 100%. You may as well just enjoy it from time to time. That way you're not going to catch yourself doing the crazy. I definitely
went through that stage earlier on when I started, everyone was doing paleo and this and that. And then I remember I was on a paleo challenge, and then I went home and I ate a whole jar of Nutella. And because I was so restricted, I ate the whole jar. And first of all, I was so sick.
I did that once. I remember Luke Starr saying he was eating Nutella heaps to gain weight and muscle. And I was like,
idea.
I'm totally eating Nutella.
That'll help me with my goals too.
Yeah, I need to gain muscle.
I
ate definitely did not help me gain muscle, but I gained weight.
Well, perfect. Same.
Yeah.
I remember after that, then I did 500 burpees as my my consequence.
Yeah,
And
but
I
you
was
don't want to catch yourself doing that either.
This is this is not healthy. And now I look back on that, I'm like, what an idiot. So yeah, now if I want some Nutella, I probably don't have the whole jar because it's going to make me feel shit in my afternoon session, but I'll have some, whatever.
Yeah.
But I also like, I mean, it's so personal, all this stuff. And,
it is.
And then I have some people going, I eat exactly what you eat and I like don't look like what you do or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but I train a lot and I'm on my feet. And hey, wait. If you look at my mom, she's like a little tiny little mini. I like hug her and my arms go like through myself again. So I don't know. She's also got boobs.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Are you my mum?
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, I guess like my nutrition is pretty flexible in my day-to-day routine. So
yeah,
it's nothing too crazy. And then apart from that, I'm just training, eating, sleeping and training other people and getting online programs out, and that's me. Hanging out with my dog.
Yeah.
Walking my dog when I don't feel like walking because I've already done a training session.
Yeah. Training. Walking.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, nutrition's a crazy one. Like I love it. It's insane.
Yeah. And
I've always been like a firm believer, like nutrition and sleep done well is the best performance enhancing drug you could ever have.
Yeah.
That was literally my motto. Like who was I saying? Robbie. Okay. Robbie Clark was the nutritionist that I dealt with.
Yeah.
Phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
And same thing, like the meal plan you got, it almost shocks you the opposite way.
Yeah.
Like the brutal thing that Nina and I got, both of us, hers was, I reckon she had to go a lot more than I did, but our brutal reality coming out of a paleo diet again was that we just were not consuming enough.
Yeah.
So when you get the meal plan, you're like,
this is a lot of food.
Yeah, how am I going to fit this in? And initially it's so hard, and then you have nothing, you don't know anything else after that. Yeah. After that you miss that one muffin, you're like, I'm so hungry.
100%.
But sleep's the best.
Yeah, I'm pretty good sleeper. I don't think my quality of sleep, like it's
too good.
Yeah, I'm a bit erratic when I sleep. Like if I'm lying down and I'm sleeping and I decide, I'm kind of like that. But if I'm like lying on one side and my body, or I decide that I want to roll onto the other side, it's not this like, what you see in movies. I'm like, whoa, bang. Like, so I think I'm just a little erratic, but I get a lot of sleep. Like I'm in bed early. I wake up early. Like I'll happily sleep all day. So no, I'm a firm believer of that too. So yeah,
it's got so much power in it. Sleep, gotta love it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So what's in the cards coming ahead, just in general?
Yeah. Ooh, good question. I guess like the next period of time, 4 to 6 weeks, I'm basically moving out of my place and packed up all my stuff, not saying goodbyes to anyone because I feel like we haven't got a plan to move yet. So I know that I'm gonna. Now I was just saying to someone yesterday, I was like, I feel like I was traveling to like Goulburn each week and now I'm going to move somewhere else and then I'll just have to travel further. I'll be in Byron. I'm like, Tash, I can still coach.
Yeah.
I will be there.
I'll just leave at 1 a.m. and I should be there for 9:30.
I was like, I just feel like I'm going to travel further. Yeah. But that's okay. That's kind of like what's consuming me at the moment is.
Oh, but the beauty of that though, I swear to God, sometimes I don't know how it is right now because obviously they need to make money.
Yeah.
But you can catch like $80 flights from Ballina to Sydney sometimes if you get a really good deal. Back in the day.
I'm also terrified of flying.
You fly?
Yeah, I hate flying.
I'm like that little kid who just stares at planes in the sky. I want to be.
It's actually quite funny because people are like, I'm very
sometimes
outgoing.
Flights are cheaper than petrol.
No, that's okay. I'll still drive for a very long time instead. Like, yeah, I'm such like an outgoing kind of person, loud, crazy, and then you see me in a flight and I just crumble and I cry and I'm like, we're all dying. Everyone's like, oh shit. And like, I've always felt like I'm the one who's going to have to fight the terrorists because I'm strong.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm I'm like, no one else is going to stand up to me. So I'm like, I've got to be on point. I'm like, it's him.
Yeah. You're that person. Is there a doctor on board? Yes. Yes.
You? Really? Yeah. I just, I'm terrified. So, but maybe I fly a lot too. Like I was
about to say,
I've traveled a lot.
You've traveled a lot.
So
yeah.
I should probably get over that.
Yep.
Actually, someone here,
the smaller flights are scarier though.
Someone here was telling me, they were like, are you a control freak? I was like,
yeah.
They were like, would you prefer to fly the plane? I was like, do you know how?
Maybe just learn to do that.
Yeah. And I'm a pilot now, guys.
Yeah, just a helicopter drops into the gym to coach.
If you guys could get a helipad, that would be great. I'll be here every week.
That's cheap.
Yeah, so I guess that's just moving and continuing training. The Open's coming up, trying to figure out where I'm going to be for that. And
yeah, it's so true. Yeah,
I don't know. They were saying, like, someone asked me if I could contribute my scores to their gym, but I think there's rules around where you were training.
What can happen?
And I was like, but I don't know where I'm training. Like, I'm just unaffiliated, I guess.
Yeah.
So, just getting through the Open and cruising and figuring out a new move and kind of like a new path for me and my partner. And so that should be fun.
Yay.
Or not. Like, who knows?
Yeah. Like you
guys,
said, it's not goodbye. You'll come back.
We're going to move away. We can break up and then I can come back to the beaches and it'll be fine.
Sorry, Mitch. Kidding.
He's like, yes, that'd be so much easier. I'm a pain in the ass. So, yeah, that's kind of my next steps.
Yeah, awesome.
It's sad that it won't be with the Mono crew, but I mean, like I said, I like just to give you guys a boost, I feel really sad leaving this place. And I've actually messaged Tashi so many times and I've said, like, this is what's held me back here for so much longer than I was going to stay.
Change,
like I've been talking about doing this change for a long time, and I've been up and down with my coaching, of falling in love with coaching, and then sometimes you go through stages that you don't love it so much, and Mona's really brought that love back for me, and I've been so grateful for like this community, and I've wanted to turn up every day. There's literally, I can't say out of any gym that I've been to, not been a day that I'm like, oh, I'm happy to be here at 5:30 in the morning, or people turn up to the last class and you're like, damn it, I wish I had no one. Like, I'm like, no, come. Like, everyone's just been so lovely, and I've met so many gorgeous people, and there's been so many people, like a lot of CrossFit communities, these like intergenerational friendships of people that you never meet anywhere else, and it's really like shone through here. So it's
the best part
really
of this place, isn't it? Just the mix.
Yeah.
The mix is like, it's not one certain target market, nothing. It's like,
and
you've got a kid in a lady, just a kid, I don't want to call her a kid. You've got a lady who's like in year 9.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we've got like competitors in the 60 plus bracket. Like it's the best mix. You have 100%. Like everyone in between.
Yeah. And like, it just makes it all the harder to leave. But I'm leaving.
Brutal reality is still happening. We didn't create this podcast just to tell you guys, surprise! April Fool's in February.
By the way, like, screw Sean, because he posted on Monday night. Yeah. He said that I was leaving, and then I was coaching on Tuesday morning. Was Australia Day, and man, I got the cold shoulder. So you guys can be really lovely, but you can also be really mean.
That was Sean. No, that wasn't me.
They were like, I'm not talking to you today. I was trying to like read the board out. Everyone's like, screw you. Like, okay, fair enough.
Yep. But, So today, tomorrow, and then same thing next week. Last one next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. And
Tuesday night, having a little shenanigan.
Yes.
A little, what did you say? Soiree.
Yeah, it's going to have a little soiree.
Yeah. I'm doing some planning for that, trying to figure out what we'll do, but just like some snacks and beers and hang out. And
so that's 6:30 next Tuesday. In the PM. Don't come 6:30 a.m. It's not a breakfast. It's
beers.
Dinner.
Beers at 6:30.
Yeah, beers at 6:30 a.m. So 6:30 p.m. next week on Tuesday, guys. Those of you who want to come together, banter, and farewell Haz on her adventures ahead.
I'll still be here on Wednesday morning just so you know. So
so don't do your proper cries.
Yeah, like if you awkwardly wait for it. Yeah, then I've had that a few times.
Let's do that again.
People will be like, I thought you left. I'm like, not so soon, guys.
Give me time.
I got to make a dramatic long exit.
Miss me.
And I will probably be back in a couple of weeks.
No,
if
you
I am,
won't, but
I'll be back in a couple of weeks to do some classes because I just want to join in and do them myself.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that'd be awesome to have you. Even just for, like the open workouts.
But I'm going to have to like
come
cherry pick.
Yeah, cherry pick away.
I'll find something I'm good at.
Yeah. You just send it. Can you just change the workout to this?
I've just said that I was a good
really
mover, but I'm not great at these things. So I'll make sure it's not those things when I come in.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So we'll figure out the details of next week Tuesday closer to the time. But also anyone who may have joined on recently and maybe just wants to get into the community a bit. It's like a social hour. Come along. Yeah.
You can say hi to me and then say bye to me straight after. It's fine.
Like, who's Harriet?
Yeah. Don't worry about me. I thought she left.
Probably more loved than the owners of this place.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah. But so thanks for jumping on with me today, Haz.
Thank you.
It's good to have a little chat.
Thanks, members, and thanks everyone.
Yay.
And see you on Tuesday and next week.
Yep. And then
peace out.
Yeah, see ya. Want to watch more content on our channel? Watch the next video up here and feel free to subscribe and keep following our channel here.